Here with more space engineers, and today we've made a bit of progress on the the new crater mineshaft hangar entrance thing, whatever we're going to end up calling it. So what we've done is, after we finished mining all of this out, we took most of the mining assembly apart. We just left the upper connection up here. That way, if we need to, if we decide to take this thing deeper, we can. For now, I think it's going to work for what we want. Now, what I've done is I've gone ahead, identified the lowest point in the crater where the crater wall intersects with the entrance shaft here, which is right here, and matched that up to where it would tie into the rest of the grid system. Now, because of that, it kind of made some of the numbers a little wonky because of the fact that I had sections where things weren't matching up quite where I wanted them to. So what we ended up with is a flat side of 6 blocks on each of the north, south, east, west edges. And then we have, it's a 2-block insert, well, I guess a 2-block standoff, and then 1 block at each. And there's 4 more single 1-block corners into another 2-block standoff back into the 6. And so what that does is it gives us as close to a perfect circle at this scale as we're going to get. Now what I want to do is I'm going to check to see, I don't know if we have any mods available that will allow me to bridge this spacing. So what we were probably going to end up doing is a combination of things. I'm thinking that we're going to have blast doors on hinges so that the doors can open and close, and then behind that we'll have force fields. What that'll allow us to do is to basically kind of bridge that gap, but we'll see, because there may be like force field doors or something that we can use that will allow us to get across the space. The problem is that it's more than 20, I think. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 more is going to be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No, actually, it will work then. And so what we'll be able to do is put force fields all the way under this to basically seal the whole thing off. That actually works, pretty well. Better than I expected, and I can't honestly say that I planned it like that, so it's always nice when things work out in our favor. Alright, so what I have been doing is basically bringing the framing from the top down, because I'm trying to figure out what my spacings are going to look like down here, because I want to have hangars cut into the, was that north and west walls? So I'm thinking we're going to put some small utility craft hangars up on the north wall here. And so what I need to do is plan out, oh crud, I keep doing that. Oh, son of a, come on, Hal, you can do this. There we go. But yeah, so what I want to do is get the blocks in, at least get the rough framing done so we know where our walls are going to match up. And then from there we can actually plan how large these hangars are going to be for this area. Because I'm thinking that for the utility craft stuff, that's actually only going to be the 6 wide. So I'm thinking if we do that, let's go, we can actually take all this out. Down to here. Alright. And then we're going to leave you know, the 4 blocks above, because this is basically going to be the ring around the entire thing. And then this tier is the stuff that we're going to pull out to put the airtight, what's it called, the airtight force field doors in. And then those, I think, have a maximum of 10 on each, on like the maximum length you can get is 10 tiles. So with those on opposing faces, that should bridge the gap. And if not, we can move one side in or something, we'll figure it out. Alright, so, but yeah, what's important right now is getting the stuff that we need. So we can get the spacing in here. Because that's where we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to start doing our raw math, back of the napkin kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get this in. And the nice thing is that a bunch of folks have been saying that they want to see more build process, so you get to see more build process. I think we may do something with that, but we'll see. All right. And we'll leave that one undone for right now because we are going to actually build into that section. But I don't want to do that yet, because what we're going to do is I'm going to have operations controls like flight ops over here. And I need to figure out first I need to figure out how big the hangars are and where the hangars are going to be located, so that we can put the flight ops in so that they can see the majority of all of the hangars. That way, once, you know, if people decide to use something like this for multiplayer, because I will make this save available. Will you quit sticking me over here? Thank you. There we go. But yeah, so the idea is that we'll make the save available for folks to download, and you'll be able to do your own builds with it. And that way, if you just want to use and recycle the base, you are more than welcome to. Because I've got a ridiculous amount of resource, and this is not even going to put a dent in it. Oh, yeah, by the time we were done, we ended up with, I want to say, a little over 20 million units of stone. Or I should say 20 million kilograms of stone. It was rather redonkulous. We have so much basic material that I actually had to go out and start mining out like the gold and silver manually, because we had none. In fact, I think gold may be done. I went and picked up, I don't know, like another 60k of ore or something like that. And so this is where it's going to start. Oh, come on. Space engineers, you are just driving me up the wall today. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. Okay. But yeah, like I was saying, this is where it's going to start getting a little bit weird, because we want this to basically come into the hallway here. And then this is going to, like I said before, we're going to have some habitation stuff down here. We're going to have, you know, like a small area for manufacturing, so that you'll have dedicated like ship materials. So you don't have to go all the way, you don't have to tie into the large section. And if something happens, you know, because we've got a lot of conveyor running, if something breaks, I want to have an area that will still be able to access manufacturing from. That means you are coming out, and let's see here, 2, 3. This is going to be the tie into the there. So I think I want, do I want that to be the wall? I think I want that to be the wall area, and then we'll have windows. And see, every time I start getting anything done, we start getting them energy low warnings. Let's get a little bit more of this stuff in here. There we go. Okay. And then we'll be able to work with this later. I'm just, like I said, I'm really just trying to get stuff in so that we can start tying this all together here. And since we have a welding vehicle, we'll be able to bring the welder down here and basically speed run this. There we go. Okay. And I'm thinking this is where we're going to cut that line for now, at least. All right. And that's going to be undercover, so I may actually be able to put that command stuff in here. Which means I'll be able to just take some of this stone out, since we're already going to have a giant negative space here. That might work out best. Okay. Alright, so now let's talk hangars over here. So what I'm thinking, because I do want these to be able to be closed, and since they're utility craft, I'm thinking that we're going to do just regular doors, like regular blast doors, which are going to be a 2-block gap that each door can bridge, which means I can go 4 doors. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll have the hangar doors be behind that, and that goes 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll actually give us, if we do that, that way I can have actual utility vehicles in here, and then I can have a couple, or even just like a small, like a really small runabout scout kind of thing to get around to the different stations and things, to do some trading, maybe do some the recon missions and such. I think that's going to be good. Oh, you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to, oh, I know exactly what we need. Okay. We're not actually going to be able to have that because we want each of these to be airtight, which means we're gonna have a connector on either the roof or the floor. So we need a place to patch those in. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, so we want that to be 3 blocks. And what that'll allow me to do is to have, say, the one down here have connectors in the roof. We've got an area for the piping to come through, and then we have another connector on the floor of the next level. And I need to come up here and grab some plates. Let me show you just how much material we ended up with, because I think when everything was said and done, I ended up with something like 20 million kilograms of stone. That was like, what, 20,000? No, I guess 20,000 kilograms. Let's see. I mean, we've got, you know, a ridiculous amount of gravel. Yeah, so it was 20 million kilograms. Oh wow, that was crazy. But yeah, so we've got, you know, a ridiculous amount of nickel, a ridiculous, well, we've got a little bit of silver. Added a bit of gold. Actually, is my gold still processing? Nope, it just hasn't moved over there. Okay. So that was like 60k ore or so, you know, to give me 300 ingots. Oh, I need to get platinum. I need to get a little bit of silver. But I mean, look at this. We've got almost 2.25 million iron. So it's just, we've got so much stuff. Actually, speaking of, how many plates do we have now? We're at 13k plates. Let's go ahead and do another like 10 or so. Because we're going to need a lot of plates when we go to weld this stuff up. The stuff down in the bottom of this entrance area is all blast doors, and I'm thinking that we're going to probably do blast doors for all of the landing pad areas. Mainly, and I didn't pick up plates that mainly because we want something a little bit more durable than the light armor plates, especially for the where we're going to have the large grid vehicles at. Let's grab the 1,000. Not like I am not using them. And so having this, basically figuring out where we want the hangars, will allow me to then bring the drill in and clear this stuff out without having to clear everything out. Which honestly is going to be mostly what I'm doing over here. So, all right, so that's 6 blocks. I'm thinking I actually want this to be, we do 6. If we take these 2 lines out, that gives us 10. I think that should be big enough. We'll leave the last couple. Right, so if we then go, can I get, yeah, there we go. You in there. And then this is just really to remind me that I need to get this stuff in here. So when I start mining this area out, I'll have a little bit of a guide to make sure that I'm mostly staying where I need to. There we go.
Energy low.
And then we can worry about the rest of that. Alright, so we take those and those. And we actually want at least 3 lines of this. Let's go ahead and take the rest of this down. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, where we're just putting some temporary, well, I mean, obviously those are eventually going to become permanent, but you know what I mean. They're just to help keep everything sorted out for right now. Alright. And so then that means all of this, right? Actually, how big do we want to, because we're doing 10. We're doing 10. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we do that, let's see if that's enough room for us. Trying to beat the clock. Can I do it? Probably not. Nope. Not going to be able to. Okay. Almost, though. Alright. So I'm thinking that should be big enough for what we're planning. Alright. Yeah, should be enough power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So you're close. So that. And then you guys are going to come down to there. Alright, so that's what we're looking at for hangar entrance space. Let's get rid of that for a second. And so that'll be 10 by 10, which means we can actually get a fairly good-sized vehicle in there. Should give us enough room to still be able to get it in and out of here. Yeah. And the question is how deep do we want to take that thing? Because I mean, we have the ability to take this pretty far into the cliffside. So if we were to go. I don't know. Oh, hello. A little too fast. So probably something... Maybe something about like that. Not sure how far back that is. So if we did that, what are we looking at here? So I'm basically excavating out enough that I'll be able to drop some blocks in here behind it, just to get an idea of we are a little off center. Close enough. I just have to remember that because of the fact that we're digging so far, the planet only has a 30-kilometer radius. So we start running into the auto-leveling issues. Alright, so if we do that, that gives us one. So that'll be the door, basically the doors would be at that level, right? Yeah. So the doors would be there. Actually. Yeah, doors would be here. Okay, so from the inside of the door is 1, 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's going to get us, that gets us 11 usable. I think we're going to take it back to 15, so that's 12 usable. like I said, I want 15 usable. That should be far enough. So we said 12, 13, 14, 15 usable. And then that would mean we go to there. That gives us a 15 by 10 by 10 usable. Not too bad, actually. Alright, and then basically we just have to come through and excavate the rest of this out, which will be something that I do off camera. And I think, because this has been a rather long day, I'm going to call this one here. I'm going to thank you all for stopping and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you know the routine. So like buttons, hit those subscribes, leave comments down below. If you have any questions or if there's things you'd like to see, be sure to include those in the comment area. I do like taking feedback from folks. Like I've said before, I may not use it, but hey, at least you had a chance to have your say in it, right? Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Okay, so we'll get this excavated, get those excavated. Yeah, I think that'll work.